Successful relationships between individuals include a handful of characteristics, and almost all of these essential characteristics are built upon the aspect of communication between partners. Now, it seems like in the modern era, unsuccessful and unhealthy relationships seem to be on a constant increase, and the statistics seem to back that up as well. The article "Breaking Up is Hard to Count: The Rise of Divorce in the United States" states that between the years 1980 and 2010, the rate of divorce is just on a continued climb, which continues to be seen in the modern day. And it's very likely that you, the listener, have either witnessed an unhealthy relationship or maybe even been a part of one yourself. Now, after finding myself in my own relationship, my views on the efforts that go into maintaining one have greatly changed as well, and I've realized personally how crucial of a skill communication is and how important it is to have in a relationship. In this speech, I aim to clearly define what communication is and how it applies to a relationship, also, or while also visiting some topics such as how a lack of communication affects relationships and leads to the negative trends we see today, and end off with a few of my own personal experiences and examples that have drawn me to this conclusion. Now, to start off with like a very clear definition of communication, the article "Critical Skills Communication" by Nancy W. Comstock describes communication as an exchange of information or the expression of ideas or feelings. This seems trivial to know now, but going into the rest of my presentation, it's crucial to understand. And whenever applying to relationships, the University of San Diego wrote an article on what the most common characteristics were in healthy relationships, and those were things such as honesty, healthy boundaries, support, and open communication in general. And every single one of those characteristics are built upon one's own ability to effectively communicate with their partner. And now that we have an understanding of what effective communication looks like in a relationship, we can understand how unsuccessful relationships develop due to a lack of communication. So, in contrast, unhealthy relationships that don't include communication are more volatile and more prone to eventually failing. And one of the main aspects I wanted to tackle was jealousy, the topic of jealousy, because it definitely stems from a lack of communication. The article "Social Interests in Partner Violence in Romantic Relationships: The Mediating Role of Jealousy" goes into detail on how jealousy affects relationships by saying that romantic jealousy may be associated with the partner perceiving someone with risk as a threat, or with the threat of losing what they have and the possibility of the partner choosing someone better. And it's such a big issue. Jealousy is such a big issue, and I feel like it's seen so often in modern relationships, and it can easily be quelled with a good foundation of communication between partners. A relationship where you're openly available to ask questions and quell those concerns is imperative to have. And I believe it could greatly help with those who are feeling with or struggling with feelings of jealousy. And I've seen multiple examples throughout my time, like online or talking with friends, that have shifted my own perspective and given me some preconceived notions on relationships as well, because of other people's negative association with them. Over the past few years with my girlfriend, there have definitely been moments where open communication has helped get rid of worries and kept the relationship thriving. In the modern era, it's definitely easy to say that the access to constant information is both a blessing and a curse. There's so many different viewpoints and topics out there for us to view. And one of the most covered topics is definitely relationships, because it's just such a huge aspect of life. And you see so many different viewpoints on how people are jaded by relationships, or they believe that relationships are pointless or just overall harmful to you rather than helpful. Um, and I believe that's attributed to the failure to communicate and the trends that we've seen in relationships because of it. For example, one of the most extreme opinions that I saw on it, or saw on relationships, was from the article "Traditional Love versus Modern Love," where the author Marina Putsick states that in the age of the internet, romance has disappeared. And like I said, I believe it can be greatly attributed to the rising, like, jadedness that so many people feel nowadays. Whenever at the same time, I believe that it's communication that can help get rid of these issues. And after I've seen so many people who have been scorned by love in a way, it made me concerned for my own relationships. But being able to have open communication with my partner is what's helped me have such a healthy relationship with her. And it's for all of these reasons that I listed and the examples and my own personal experiences that I believe communication is the most essential part in any relationship. And in closing, as time passes, the importance of communication just becomes more and more apparent to me. And the effects of unsuccessful communication do so as well. And I believe that a relationship with open and reliable communication is more prone to be successful than one that does not feature that. And before I close out, I want to implore you, the audience, to ensure that communication is in any of your relationships, whether it be romantic, platonic. It is the most essential basis that any relationship can be built upon. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation.